Jinger Duggar says she was reared under terrifying regulations and experienced religious OCD as a child, which left her living in constant fear that God would smite me dead. Jinger Duggar acknowledges that after rejecting her family's extreme religious beliefs as a child, she may have suffered from religious obsessive-compulsive disorder. Staring on 19 kids and counting on, the 29-year-old reality TV actress made an appearance on Big Bang Theory alum Mayim Bialik's Breakdown podcast, speaking on her time spent living with her family, who adhered to the Institute of Basic Life Principles doctrines. Mayim suggested that Jinger might be suffering from a mental illness known as religious OCD, or scrupulosity. Jinger also concurred with Mayim's evaluation following her disclose that she used to wake up in the middle of the night worried that God would smite me dead. She described how IBLP founder Bill Gothard would ask parishioners to make vows centered around God during his sermons. According to Jinger, adherents were warned that God will be out to get you if the vows, which include reading the Bible and praying, were broken. Mayim questioned her, where your young mind went with this dogma. After hearing this, Jinger went on to say that she had these tiny concerns as a child already, and that everything you throw on top of that, God is out to get you, the worse it got. I was a really obedient youngster. I've never been one to push the envelope. I desired to carry out what was appropriate, she clarified. I would be so afraid and worry, have I done what's right? If I was going to bed at night, have I overlooked any of the fundamentals? She made this pledge to God while working for Bill, so if she hadn't, she would read her Bible when she woke up in the middle of the night. The Jeopardy presenter emphasized that she didn't want to diagnose or pathologize Jinger, but she did add, there is a thing called religious obsessive-compulsive disorder. Mayim claimed that the disease sounded exactly like what the reality TV star was saying, and that it was typical for those raised in extremely religious communities. She continued by enumerating Center for Anxiety symptoms. The disorder's website listed compulsive praying, where the individual was described as restarting the prayer if you start it wrong, reading or studying compulsively and questioning your intentions because of God's role in it, continually seeking forgiveness or things that you have to do that assure safety were added symptoms. That's like, literally the definition of OCD, she continued. People engage in these obsessive behaviors because they think doing so will keep them secure and free from their obsessions. It's kind of interesting because it sounds like your brain kind of stuck on something and became this kind of focus for you, the person said. I would kind of look at other individuals outside of our groups and say, okay, maybe they're walking. Jinger added in reflection. With God, perhaps they aren't, since you can sort of make out differences. I was like, okay, now I know they're not obeying every rule as they should, if ladies were seen wearing slacks in their families. She also thought that anyone who disobeyed Bill's IBLP rules was endangering the prospects for success for their family. Fasting was one of the tenets, and Jinger got so engrossed in it that she started an eating disorder. It seems like you couldn't escape from God, meaning in ways that didn't feel kind or supporting, Mayim remarked. It had an impact on everything.